provide packages of this nature.
Well, thank you so much. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Hickenlooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dr. Huff, what a pleasure to have you with us, and I can't tell you how impressed I am with all that you've done, and that I have several friends as women who came up through the ranks of science into space engineering or nuclear engineering, and I know that sometimes there were obstacles, and I appreciate how hard you must have worked to get to where you are. And I am one who thinks that where you are is exactly the right place and something we definitely need. Obviously, there's been a lot of renewed interest in nuclear fission, billions of dollars of private investment, well, just in the last few months, really. And I think there's a significant overlap of technical knowledge and expertise between fusion and fission. Fusion's housed in the Office of Science's Fusion Energy Sciences program and is outside the Office of Nuclear Energy. How would you go about fostering collaboration between the research, just to share best practices, make sure the new findings help each other? I mean, and is there anything that we in the Senate could do to help foster that?
Senator, thank you for your kind comments. I appreciate that. And I think you've really hit on something so prescient that even right now, there is a fusion summit happening at the White House this very moment with many members of the Office of Nuclear Energy in attendance in order to help foster that collaboration. It's very important that the lessons that the nuclear energy industry and commercialization of nuclear fission technology has learned over the last many decades be leveraged so that it doesn't all have to be relearned in the context of fusion. And that includes things like the regulatory environment and how to really support the regulator in decision making, as well as materials science and materials qualification issues, even just the business plan of operating in a space where you are both regulated and concerned about export control, but also simultaneously interested in real clean energy distribution. I think we have a lot to share with the Office of Fusion Energy Sciences and the Office of Science, as well as ARPA-E, which has a really forward-leaning approach to fusion research. And I think it's really, really exciting to see, I think 19 fusion startups right now. Anyway, I'm excited about it, as you are too.
Yeah, it's again, I keep thinking that we are now just beginning what 100 years from now we'll look back on and say, this was the great transition. This was that transition where we actually did take measured steps, but accelerate towards a clean energy future. We're obviously in Colorado, you'll have to forgive the one required parochial question, but we have strong programs in nuclear energy, not just in the Colorado School of Mines, but in Colorado State University and more specifically, University of Colorado Boulder. The Nuclear Energy University programs recently received its own line item and $70 million in funding in the omnibus. I'm sure that caught your attention. Can you comment on the importance of this program and how it might support nuclear education activities, not just in Colorado, but in other states?
Thank you, Senator. There is no topic closer to my heart than the education of nuclear engineers. I am a professor on unpaid leave of absence from a nuclear engineering program in Illinois, and the Nuclear Energy University program is the lifeblood of nuclear energy and the training of our next generation innovative scientific workforce in this field. The program is so important that it is critical that it have its own line item. I think it's a wise choice to have it stand alone, in part so that it is not seen as a tax on the other programs, and so that it can have the oversight and direction appropriate to a line item on its own. Students receive important scholarships and fellowships. Faculty receive important research and development funding. Even national laboratories benefit from the Nuclear Energy University programs because faculty proposing research are encouraged to incorporate the national laboratories, and up to 20% of the funding from any R&D award in the NEUP program can go to either industry or the national laboratories, and routinely does.
Mr. Chair, isn't it astounding and wonderful to have a witness who is so in command of every aspect, every facet of the program that she's going to run. Anyway, I have other questions on some of the other, not just electrical power,
Very
but other
unique for
things,
this
nuclear energy.
administration.
I will submit them in a written form.
Easy.
What was that?
Very unique for this administration. We're very pleased.
Oh, no, my gosh, you turned everything into partisan politics. I'm so shocked and mortified.
I think we have unanimous consent on this one, though.
Yeah, I hope so.
Senator Rich.
It was so obvious he couldn't help himself. Well, Dr. Huff, I'm not going to